Alright, hello everyone. My name is Russ, and I am here to give you an update on something that I'm not necessarily happy to learn about. Recently there was an exposal on someone that you guys may be familiar with. Someone that goes along with the name of Mango AMV Emeralds on YouTube, and on Discord you may know them as Emma. I am a pretty close friend with Emma, as you may know that if you're involved with PX District, you may see uh, me and them playing with Silver, Zora, Lee, a couple other people in the PX server, right? So, yeah, me and Emma were pretty good friends. We haven't necessarily talked in a couple while. I've been gone from the 26th through the till today, which is Tuesday, December 31st, uh 6:23 p.m. And so this is at the time I'm recording this. If you're watching this after New Year's, I don't know when I plan on publishing this, if I ever publish this, but I just kind of wanted to like kind of talk about this entire thing, right? I don't know if I'm gonna make this a common thing, right? But I kind of want to like talk about my thoughts about this entire thing, right? And so the White Room made an exposal video, and Rika, a common member of the community, also a editor, both the White Room and Rika being editors. Um, but yeah, I'll get into this in just a second. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. But yeah, let's start with the exposal doc. I kind of have it set up in a way similar to Mogul Mel, but oh, that's the wrong thing. But if we look at this right here, right? So at this current point, right, I won't go through every single piece of detail, but some of the major points. But yeah, so it right here it says that in the early part of the video, the White Room claims that Emma's initial face reveal is to be false and stolen. However, it does not understandable information that. So in this context, I'll show you guys in just a second. The White Room goes back and it shows Emma's quote unquote face, right? And what Rika is essentially stating here is that the picture is of not fake but of someone else, and we'll get into that. Uh, the White Room not having any detail about hiding any names, commute or Facebook's potential address leak, countless times, which um I did speak to the White Room. He did his absolute best to try to prevent any sort of doxing, uh, trying to protect the family, right? But wanting to reveal as much information, and we can go into that right here.
Partners, however, they never FaceTimed and would never unmute for anyone. Their typical excuse would be that their mic doesn't work, whether it be the phone excuse where their mic broke to their mother.
All right, so right here, the White Room is currently talking about Emma not having a mic of sorts, not face revealing to like necessarily anyone, um, but yeah. So even with my own experiences with Emma, I've VC'd with her plenty of times. None of the times that we've ever VC'd, she ever had her mic on. One of the excuses that she uses is she just doesn't have a mic, which I personally didn't care about. I mean, I've vibed with Emma, right? Um, so not necessarily hearing their voice isn't a big issue. I've VC'd with a lot of people who don't usually turn on their mic, so it's not something out of the ordinary that I necessarily thought of. But we also go right here where the White Room speaks on them having AirPods, which is kind of calling out their light, because why wouldn't their AirPods have access to like mics, right?
Provided. So I'm unsure as to why even the Air.
Yeah.
First of all, they have AirPods as shown in the screenshot provided. So I'm unsure as to why.
So yeah, that's the point that he talks about, right? Another point is from Marika is that he doesn't have any significant proof that the classmates, that's the picture I'll show you guys in just a second belongs to a classmate of Emma, but he doesn't bother trying to show off the school and stuff, which we'll get into right here.
identity. So this is their main fake face reveal.
So yeah,
Even now, I was
this is the main face that if you were to ask Emma for a face reveal and if she feels close enough to you, then it's the face that she would probably send you.
never able to figure out who this girl was. However, I was able to learn that they're a classmate or fellow student at the same school as Emma's true identity.
Now, I don't necessarily know that how the White Room knows that this is Emma's school per se, right? Also, for the case of this entire video, I'm just gonna refer to Emma, or as we'll later learn as Deontay Day. I'll just refer them to as a she, just so my mind is just set on something, right?
I learned this by going on PemEyes and inserting the photo. And although I wasn't going to pay the steep price of $15 just to get the rundown on one singular photo, it did tell me a piece of the website that the result came from. The bit of the website.
So in this for this context, right? PemEyes, I think, is a reverse image searching thing. I don't know. But yeah, this is the results. It leads back to the supposed school of Emma. I don't necessarily know if this is true. I think that's a blurred out image, so I think he just put something else. But I'm not necessarily sure how this entire thing necessarily worked.
That link I saw had the school that Emma goes to. I did this with the 3 photos I have of them.
So yeah, supposedly these are the other 3 images that Emma sent to other people, right? So the middle one is the main one. The one on the left has a supposed Snapchat filter. I think it's like an electric thing. And then to the right is another picture. But yeah.
The first one, which had some sort of snap filter,
Yeah.
proves the girls in these photos.
So yeah, the one on the left didn't work out, but the one on the right did end up with a result of the school, right?
Are February of 2023, as shown.
So yeah, Emma has been using this picture since January 14th, 2023, as the White Room just stated, which is really unusual because if you're going to be sending this to people, you're usually going to be sending an image that is fairly recent, not just like one that was a couple years old, right? So this almost being 2 years ago, and they're still using the possible image, kind of feels false in a way, right? So next part is when they're going to talk about their name, and what Rika states is that there isn't any conclusive evidence on how he found the name, considering Deontay isn't a very common name, right? And supposedly they think that the White Room was searching for months to even come close. I don't understand this point. They also talk about that a boy stayed in Emma, because that was one of their main points that they used, right? Is that Emma states that they're from a specific state to Rainey, just because Rainey possibly being curious, and this ends up leading to Rainey being like, yo, this guy is also from the same state as Emma, but it's weird. I don't know how to put it. So yeah, let's get into this part.
We should establish the real name of Emma. I feel confident sharing this as the name is linked to many Emma-related things. The name is Deontay Day, a boy from the same.
So yeah, as we just stated, Deontay Day is supposedly Emma's real name, right? And for the sake of the rest of the video, right, I'm still gonna be referring to Deontay Day or Emma as a she, just so I'm not just saying random things.
Same state as Emma. However, that's not even close to the end of similarities between the two. I first learned of this name through a Facebook notification I saw on their Discord screen share.
So yeah, um, so the supposed screen sharing, right? It's not necessarily screen recording, which is one of the points that Rika brought up, right? So in this current place, I don't know, this might have taken like in early December, November, October, or sometime in the past, right? This scenario might have happened a while ago, but the entire point is this is probably around the time where the White Room wasn't suspicious of Emma being a guy, right? So this is where he had that level of trust, and this is the case where he's like, okay, wait, so a Facebook notification just popped up if Emma was screen sharing, and he's like, okay, but who's this Deontay Day guy, right?
Which led me to this count. As you can see, this very well screams out.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Emma's personality or how she acts, Ruby or Oshinoko as a whole is something that she's very fond of, something that she very clearly like represents within her personality, I guess. And we'll go into why I think this Facebook account is more than likely linked to Emma as a whole.
Emma, whether it be their old profile pictures at the bottom or the fact their banner is Ruby. If you know anything at all about Emma, they're obsessed with Ruby Hoshin.
So yeah, the White Room here, I'm just restating what he's saying in this video. I've watched this video like twice or three times before even wanting to make this video.
Known Oshinoko as a whole. The name Deontay, well important that I show the face of the individual. Of course, any pictures I
So yeah, this is the supposed face of Deontay Day, also known as Emma, possibly, right?
show can be found on public media, so there's no need to worry.
So yeah, if you just want to try to find this guy, I guess this is probably one of the pictures that may or may not come up. I don't know. I'm just kind of like talking and putting all these pieces together, right? So one of the points that Rika likes to make is the White Room being in some sort of rush to jump into the name, and supposedly there's a lack of evidence on how this kind of links together, but this entire point that Rika's making is kind of backtracked because it's kind of like all the stuff that the White Room's trying to layer up kind of solidifies everything that he states in the beginning, right? And so they're talking about how the White Room does not have any weak of motion right now, and this is a case of if you kind of figure out something. So let's say your mom buys you a present for your birthday and it's meant to be a surprise, right? If uh if it's something that's kind of like heavily foreshadowed, if that makes sense. So let's say your mom is going to make you a Lego themed birthday and she starts buying you a whole bunch of Legos and before your birthday, like months in advance, right? Having a Lego birthday party isn't going to be as much surprising because um, all that kind of stuff. That was probably a horrible example, but you're not gonna feel a specific emotion if you kind of already know what's gonna happen. I guess a better example would be um, if your mom buys you a Lego birthday present and you find it on accident, and you won't be as excited to receive the present. And going on to the next point that they possibly made is supposedly they dated a person named Emma Miller. No, not the Emma that is in the, not the Emma that's to on Discord, but someone else. So supposedly they dated and they're no longer together. So this piece of evidence um, kind of throws things around. They also talk about PFPs and them changing stuff. I'll get into that later though. Actually, no, I'll get into this stuff right now. So, firstly, it's the start of February 9th, PFPs down to were strangely and not even closely to the ones that that Emma uses. So Emma uses like female cutie, I guess, type images, right? But what I've seen as well is that Emma tends to use a lot of matching profile pictures. And so we can go into this Facebook page where all the way back in November 6th, 2022, Deontay Day had a background of Ruby. So that's already one different point, right? And it is a female matching profile picture. Now, if this piece of evidence doesn't necessarily feel like it's totally adding up, right? We can go all the way back to February 10th, 2023, that where things kind of look more cutesy, girl like, still having the Ruby banner in the background. And if this isn't enough, in April 3rd, 2023, Deontay Day posted this picture of Tsubaki having a mango. Now, if why this piece of evidence kind of does feels out of place, well, let's link it back to Emma as a whole, right? Emma, also known as Mango AMV, so connects to why the account posted with mango on it, right? Kind of links everything up. Now, we'll talk about this now, which is their birthdays. So supposedly Deontay Day and Emma are kind of linked together, right?
They were born on October 25th, 2006.
So yeah, Emma states that she's born on October 25th and talks about how everyone celebrated her birthday on that day.
You can see in the screenshots provided. Goes on over to
And supposedly the father of Deontay Day posted October 25th that their son is turning 18. And this is also a kind of weird thing, is that when we asked how old Emma was turning, they said that they were turning 18 now. So this all happened in 2024.
a post by their father. I will censor the first name in PFP, but I'll leave in the confirm that they were born in.
But yeah, this is kind of the point. And then Rika then states that it is a good claim, but can be easily be a coincidence. It is a coincidence if it proves to be false, but kind of weird in the way that it all kind of links together. But we can continue it.
For this piece of information, we must establish the mother, who posts on both TikTok and Instagram. For their sake, I'll blur out their first name, just like the father, but their last name is Cordell.
So supposedly the mother, right? The mother is the last name is Cordell, and for those that are confused, you don't necessarily have to have the same last name as your son. If you're the mother, you can keep your maiden name, which is the name that you're born with. Um, so if you get married, you won't change your last name, or maybe the parents weren't even married at all.
In this photo here, we can see our friend Deontay in the back, and the
So yeah, the person in the background looks eerily similar to the first picture we see of Deontay, right? So this kind of establishes an already made connection, right? So this is going to be a point that's later on, but the person in the background, supposedly Deontay, right? It states that they're the oldest child. So keep that in mind. We go on to the next point, which the way that they kind of figured out the mother's name, right? So Emma just blatantly gives away their address.
road.
So, and the reason that Rainey supposedly wanted this is to be able to like mail stuff to Emma.
Using the name of their mother, I put it into the United States phone book and learned that they live at the
And so this is how they accurately got the name of the mother, and this is how they kind of like they kind of like reveal all the stuff beforehand. You know, this is kind of how everything starts to line up a lot more. And so this is them going to an amusement park. I kind of skipped over the part where Emma states that she's going to
all the damning information I fixed
to an amusement park, right?
It really starts to hint that the two are
So another fact was Emma had 5 siblings, and we'll see this later on. But yeah, one of them 15, another one 14, two twins that are 5, and then the youngest being 3.
We're the same. How do I know Deontay has 5 siblings? Well, let's have a gander at their mother's Instagram. As you can see, the mother is about
So yeah, so this is supposedly the family, right? And I'll show you later on like how you can kind of tell these are siblings. But this is another point that Rika brings up, but
their
we'll get
children,
into that in
including
just a
Deontay,
second.
to an amusement park. Give away the name of the amusement park would give away their state and most likely the school, so I won't give specifics. I'm blocking the face of the siblings, but you can very clearly see 5 individuals, and Deontay being the tallest amongst them.
So yeah, it's just him talking about all the family, right? The middle one probably being the mother, the these two probably being the second oldest, a person that yearly looks like Deontay, right? And then 3 younger siblings, probably these two in on the sides being the twins, possibly, and then the middle one being the youngest, right? Pretty straightforward.
Hence, hinting that he's the oldest. Now, look.
Now on August 3rd, um, Emma states that they're going to an amusement park, and yeah, so this is kind of them saying that they're going to an amusement park, and then the same day, August 3rd, they're saying the mother posted, "Wish me and my goons a happy and safe day" on August 3rd. Now, I don't think that a mother would post this unless it's like her children, right? I don't think that they want to call their sister's child or their niece nephew goons. So this kind of leads to this point, which Rika's talking about them literally leaking their address, um, with a simple search through TikTok to find the mother's name. Um, I don't know what they're going on with this. Is it right for Rainy to almost completely reveal Emma's address? No, not necessarily, but it is kind of used to prove a point. Um, with Emma claiming 5 siblings, oh my God, how five pictures aside for the mother, there's zero proof that they're even siblings. Um, yeah, I guess you can make this argument. He's the tallest, but he's also the oldest, as I talked about. The TikTok, saying that the oldest son is the oldest son is um the guy in the background, and the person on the far left is also looks eerily similar to Deontay, right? And back to the 5 aside, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think that a mother would call anyone but their children goons. Like, if we're being completely also honest. And then I don't understand that this point right here, right? Also, probably not to mention how literally a guy's darker skinned. Um, uh, I don't know how to talk about this. I think Rero already talked about this in his video, but it's genetics. That you don't have to have the same skin color as one parent. You could have one of another parent, right? So probably the parents of the kid is darker skinned, having more melanin. So I don't understand the point right here. Um, this is off topic, and yeah, not having this game same skin color as Deontay, which you could have different fathers. I don't think that's necessarily too uncommon. Um, a little personal fact about me is me and my uh, half brother, right, don't have the same father, so we don't necessarily have the same skin type. Let's get into this next point.
First, let's look at the time they mistakenly turned on their camera. The camera that was broken, the one they wanted to get fixed.
So yeah, this is the face of Deontay. supposedly, or this is the camera that they use for Emma, right? So let's kind of show the context of this clip, because this is supposedly after Rainey gets suspicious about Emma.
For background, I created a TikTok slideshow for the two of us to post, talking about our favorite things and such in Honkai Star Rail.
This is kind of irrelevant, but this is kind of like the lead up of how he got Emma to start screen sharing TikTok.
However, they didn't know how to make a slideshow, so I had them screen share so I could show them. From there, I realized what this could lead to, so I clicked here on screen record. Normally,
So yeah, he kind of like felt the suspicion of something that he could possibly do, and decided to screen share so he had some sort of evidence. This isn't necessarily illegal, because I'm pretty sure one party consent law, which I think Rainey applies to. I'm not necessarily sure. I don't know his state, but one party consent. I think, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know laws, but I'm pretty sure one party consent kind of goes throughout most of the U.S. I can be wrong though.
it sound immoral, but with all the other information I had, seeing their face right now could prove definitively as to whether or not they were a boy or a girl. Now, I'll show
All right, let's just get into the clip. All right.
So press the plus button. Middle.
So yeah, for if you guys cannot see, but on TikTok you have like a couple different bars at the bottom. One of them being a plus, which allows you to record a video. And so this is where Rainey and Emma are scrolling through TikTok, and this is his quote unquote possible chance for him to kind of see Emma's face. So this is the picture of Emma, which at first glance looks eerily similar to Deontay. And I don't think there's a lot of issues. I think the hair looks very similar. I think the skin color looks very similar. The other pictures are a lot more blurred just because they're a lot further away. This is a close up of what it looks like, right? If you look right here, the girl on the right side looks a lot more, I want to say a lot more yellow. This could just be due to the lighting, right? But the person on the left looks a lot more, looks like they have a lot more melanin. Also, the skin type, or not the skin type, but the hair type doesn't look that similar as well, right? The hair type looks more split in the middle, allowing more room to visualize the forehead. The person on the right side seems to have like a lot more full curls. This could be either done through tools or such, but the person on the left looks a lot more natural, and a lot more half curls, if that makes sense. A lot more wavy than curly, if that makes sense. But then Rika decides to pull this. Does this really strike you as the same person? The person on the left looking down on the camera is more or less straight, while Deontay's head is a bit leaned back. They look similar. I don't know what to tell you. The position of their eyes is because where they're watching their phone, right? The person on the left is looking at their screen, while the person on the right is looking at a camera. So if you're laying down on or sitting down on a couch, your head's probably leaning down. Taking a camera, you're looking straight. Conclusion, not Deontay. I don't think this piece of evidence throws everything out of proportion, right? Next point.
But I'll play you some clips and show you what they try to convince.
So this is the end all be all, right? This is where Rainey and Emma end up having a VC, where Emma goes on their way to basically voice reveal.
Me was a girl.
Full sentence.
Alright. I love you, Rainey.
Let's just be straight right here. This doesn't sound feminine. They were probably trying to make their voice sound more feminine than it should have, but it doesn't come off as feminine.
Dog. This is not a girl.
We gonna see. We gonna see.
This part's too inaudible to really understand what they're trying to say, but yeah, this is really difficult to watch at least. But yeah, this basically kind of solidifies every other point that if you don't believe that Emma is Deontay Day, then this should at least solidify that Emma's not a male.
But
Or, my bad, Emma's not a female. Emma's a guy.
alright, I guess.
This is another voice clip where, for context, Rainey decided to screen record about an hour and a half worth of footage, but decided not to reveal everything.
I mean, I've adapted. I don't know.
Dog. It's crazy. And I was dating a dude. It's wild. Man.
You know what? I'm pretty sure he actually done that before.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. This is not a dude, or that is not a girl, right? So, I'll personally pull up this clip myself, but as you can see right here, this is supposedly Deontay Day's YouTube channel, and so we go right here, profile picture Ruby, right? Not really interesting choice of profile picture. This link no longer works, so don't even bother try joining that. But as you can see, this was made in 2019. So this channel was made a while ago, right? So we go right here. You can look on the left side. This is someone by the name of Rinku on Discord. And if we scroll down right here, this stream was made October 30th, 2022. So around the time where premature the protoist period of SED started to come around.
Boom. I didn't get rolled on. Well, now they know it.
So yeah, you could hear a voice that with that sounds similar to the one that Rainy, aka the White Room, heard, but this time it's not trying to like support, maybe trying to use like we're trying to force their voice to sound more feminine, but that's just down to your own interpretation, right? But back to this entire thing, Rinku, that name kind of struck me as familiarity, because if we go to this next part, this is Emma's alt account. This is on Emma's personal server where she can post, do whatever she wants, right? But as you can see right here, the profile name is Rinku, which is band for band basically the same name as the last one. If we go into this last point, the voice reveal, who voices Naruto? A woman. I don't know where they got this. The voice actor for Naruto is a professional voice actor. But yeah, supposedly they were gonna do a video call, but I don't necessarily think that proves a lot. But yeah, back to the voice aspect, right? So I don't know where they got this entire Naruto thing, but as we can see right here,
Why? He's prettier than Sakura!
obviously it sounds like a kid, right? It sounds like a kid guy. But if we go right here, who is the voice actor for Naruto?
Naruto Shippuden and in Boruto.
It kind of shows that things are just really off to what they say. But I kind of just want to tell you guys that I want you guys to have your own interpretation. I don't want you guys to harass Emma. I don't want you guys to harass the White Room. I don't want you guys to harass Rika. I want you guys to take in all of this information, and I want you guys to make your own conclusive evidence. Whether who is right or wrong, that is to your own interpretation. I'm not going to tell you who I think is right. I'm not going to tell you who I think is wrong. But if Emma does go on to say that, or they have any sort of proof that any of this is false, then we'll see. Right? I'll see if I want to keep you updated. I personally don't want to turn into a news outlet, but if it comes down to it, I will. Vruru has a lot more logical and cohesiveness when it comes to breaking down and analyzing, right? I'm just a guy who likes doing things. I make edits, I interview people, but yeah, I don't necessarily think I'm in a position to tell you who is right and who is wrong, but that is down to your own piece of evidence. I don't think Rika's exposal of the White Room is great. I think um, it could have used some time. It seems more impulsive and um, trying to diminish the White Room's character more um, than it is trying to basically um, clear Emma's name. But we'll see if Emma decides to make anything new. As of right now, Emma hasn't denied the claims. Um, but yeah, I thank you guys for your time. I'm very sorry this took as long as it did, but I hope you guys have a happy new year, whatever you guys need. All right, goodbye.